We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end...
What will I become?
Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
Drink it in, man.
Deep left side carry on. Picks on the block. At the 5. At the 2. At the 1 to the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit Lions.
Drink it in, man.
Get up, Stafford throws. It is end zone. Caught! Oh, baby, what a catch! Kenny Galladay, you're a freak! What a catch! Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Cornbread! I love the Lions! Say it with me! I love the Lions!
Drink it in, man.
Detroit Koolaid, everybody. We're back Friday. Grifka's favorite day in the world. He's on the other end of the line. Grifka, we're talking Lions. It's the summertime. We still got time till camp. What the heck's going on, buddy?
Oh, man, it's starting to warm up. It's going to be a hot weekend, but TGIF.
Everybody that heard the last show, I hadn't given Grifka a bell. I gave him a bell on his famous tagline to get us out of here. Almost broke the bell, but it's good. It's back, Grifka. I'm sure I'll have to use it today.
That's good. I mean, I'm fine. You might have to place a couple more on order.
Yeah, this thing's getting worn out real quick, buddy. What the heck are we talking about today, man?
Well, last week I really didn't get a chance to do a tirade, so I was sitting here thinking.
Here we go.
Would I, do 2 this week to make up for it? And I did stumble across a couple things, so I'm going to start with this first one right here. I mean, naturally, every year, somebody, ESPN, Bleacher Report does this. They always do, which group has the best fans and crap like that. It just always annoys me because, our Lions, no matter what happens, they seem not to get too much love. And this year, our beloved Lions fell at number 22 for fan base. I'm like, 22. I mean, and they give reasons. It's always like, how much support the team gets and, how much swag the fans buy. And, and all I can think to myself is like, we're still selling out Ford Field with the amount of, the amount of success that this team has had or lack of, fans are still piling into that place. I mean, we're season ticket holders and that place is still jam packed. And, it's still hard. People still love the Lions, man. People still listen to the local shows calling, look at people are listening to us. So number 22, I mean, naturally, once again, I had to read who was at the top. Oh, of course, New England and Pittsburgh and Green Bay. Well, of course, man. It's like, give me a break, man. It's always like these teams that are awesome. Oh, yeah, they're awesome. They're great. No matter how good they are. It's like, whatever, man. It's like Cowboys fans. People like the Cowboys because they're the Cowboys and they get so much hype. It's like, oh, I'm going to be a Cowboys fan. Nice job, bandwagon hopper. Congratulations. Why don't you go root for somebody, you have to actually kind of, cry a little bit, feel some pain. I was once listening to a sports talk show one time and it was a local one. And they're like, well, I root for my team to win all the time. And the announcer's like, well, who do you like? He's like, well, I like the Steelers. And they're like, and they just hung up on him. And they're like, yeah, well, no doubt. Well, yeah, it's really hard to root for a winner there, buddy. Oh, gosh. So my question to you is, Derek, 22. Is this about right, or do you think this is a little lack of respect?
Oh, my goodness. So there was a question in there somewhere, Grifka. Like I said on previous shows, it's not necessarily a rant, just when you repeat over and over your one take. But first of all, I got to get off the top. Grifka, the reason people listen to this show, this is the fans podcast, man. The people come for the Kool-Aid drinking good stuff that we give them. That's first and foremost. Secondly, I'm glad you listed off the teams that are at the top of the list. What were a few of those again? Just curious.
Well, I believe the top 5 in order were New England, Green Bay, Pittsburgh, Dallas, I believe the Giants were. Even the Eagles were one. And I'm like, Eagles fan base, they like boo the team as they walk on the field if they don't like how they're stretching. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, that's the names I thought you'd ring off. So again, we got to start off another Kool-Aid cast with something that angers Grifka that really means absolutely nothing. I mean, I would have asked you if this was a real question, but I know that you think it's a real question, and it probably made you mad for 3 days. But Grifka, this is more garbage. Where'd you think they were going to be? Number 5 on the list? I mean, 22, I would think is about where you'd peg them based on what we've seen in the past. So again, doesn't bother me. I don't really worry about it. These are writers that have never lived here, don't realize the passion of this fan base, don't understand that. Like you sound surprised that Ford Field's full. First of all, it's NFL football. You're basically going to fill up almost anywhere. I mean, you got to be absolutely terrible and down in Florida or something for them not to care. Everywhere else, they care about NFL football. But here in Detroit, man, that stadium is always going to be filled. We're the Cubs of football. Everybody is always in on the Lions, and then there's always the hometown haters, man, the people that love the Lions. They don't want to admit it, so what do? They just rag on the team all day, or they go negative, as you sometimes do. So, I mean, we're not 22. We're in the top 10, no doubt about it. I mean, the passion of this city, we're one of the best sports cities in the country. When we win here, it's going to be the biggest thing. Like I said, since Wrigleyville got loaded up a few years ago with that World Series, I can't wait. So, excuse me. We are top 10, bro. No question. Love the Kool-Aid drinkers out there.
Yeah, I know we're top 10. So like all these other people saying like Colts have better fans, like really the Colts, Indianapolis, come on, really? Okay, whatever. Anyways. Here, you missed the bell. I even gave you a whatever, and you missed the bell. So, okay.
I was trying not to choke over here and take a drink.
My next one was, this isn't so much of a tirade as, once again, another person. I believe this one was from the Sporting News. They ranked all the uniforms, and this is usually one where I was moderately surprised where they were ranked. Now, I was expecting, once again, because the Lions, they're the Lions and they don't get a whole lot of respect. I was thinking, once again, like 22, 25, and some junk reasons why. But this writer actually had the Lions at the 11th best uniform. Now, I mean, they were behind, I believe, number 1, if I remember, it was the Cowboys. And, I like the Cowboys uniform. So I'm like, okay, I'm cool with that. And then I think Seattle was up there. And I'm like, Seattle? I mean, they got that lime green eye or something that they use as their alternate uniform, which is just hideous looking. It's like, no way. And then, like, once again, I stumbled across number 3, the Green Bay Packers. There they are, yellow and green. That is a hideous color.
What a great logo they have.
Oh yeah, that is. I don't know who designed that, but that must have been something in the 1940s for somebody to fall down and come up with that logo. Right. And then other teams, what you would expect, like the Oakland Raiders. I mean, the Raiders just have that traditional, the silver and black. How can you hate on that uniform? But even that one was like number 8. I mean, and Baltimore was up there, and Baltimore's kind of like, yeah, that's not bad. But number 11, the Lions, and one thing they didn't mention was their color rush uniform, and I know you don't like it, but this guy really liked it. So 11, is there anybody, like I said, I named off like the teams that I believed, were like, no way the Lions have a better uniform than that. They have a better uniform than Green Bay. Everybody knows that. But still, I mean, Oakland's up there. I mean, I think the Lions uniform is better than Seattle. I believe it's better than the Baltimore Ravens. But it's one of those things. I believe the Lions have a top 3 uniform. And I would put them somewhere along the lines of the Raiders, the Cowboys, and then the Lions. So what about you?
Oh, my gosh, Grifka, I got to use my tagline again. Is this a real question from you? You're asking about the uniforms? Is that true?
Of course. Uniforms are a big part of the game. Okay. Especially, when you try to get that black alternate uniform or try to put the black piping on there to make your team look tough.
Okay, well, first of all, Grifka, we talked about this on a previous show, as you would say. We broke all the uniforms down. We talked about jerseys, so we've been through this. Second of all, Grifka, have you ever creaked that wallet open of yours to actually purchase an item? I've seen you wear the same Lions t-shirt from 47 brand for the last decade since I've known you when we go to games. I mean, You're not a jersey connoisseur. Who knew that you cared about jerseys?
There's something cool about the way a uniform looks, though. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to go over the top to say, like, here, spend $80 on this, Russell Athletic jersey where you throw it in the wash once and the numbers fall off, or they they wash away. And it's just like $80 for this. I mean, like, what garage was this made in? It's probably the same one where your Detroit versus everybody t-shirt was made.
Well, the fact that you threw out Russell Athletic shows the last time you've been to the pro shop buying anything, because you can get some nice items out there, Griff. I'm the jersey guy. I'm the guy that knows about what's good and what's not when it comes to merch. You threw the Lions up in the top 3. I mean, I'm usually the guy that's got the Kool-Aid flowing. I mean, are you kidding me? The Lions are not top 3. I mean, they've always had a decent uniform, but I mean, they've went through some terrible periods with the teal pants and some of these, like you said, the gyrations of the Matt Millen era with different things they had. And now they just flipped them. I mean, you heard me the night of when the new uniforms came out, I was kind of like, I don't know about those sleeves, this, that, and the other, or like some people are cracking on our numbers and different things. I mean, I don't mind our new uniforms, but this is not one where we're in the top 10, in my opinion. I mean, I've got a bunch of Lions jerseys. I love our team's jersey, but when it comes to all the other teams in the league, yeah, man, I'm with you. Like, I lean more towards that traditional, really cool look, but I'm not going to agree with you on the Seattle. Seattle is one of the cooler uniforms, I think, in the league, especially with that, with the neon accent or just some of the combos they come up with, almost like as close they can get to Oregon as they have in the NFL. They've got there's a lot of other teams, man, that, again, it's easy to pick out like, the traditional uniforms is the top couple, but some of these redos are getting better and some are really terrible. So I don't know, man. If I had to put the Lions jersey, again, I know this is the Kool-Aid Cast, but gosh, man, I'm probably in that 12 to 15 range in regards to overall, like, just they're good, they're new, they're more contemporary now, but they used to just be the block letters, the silver with, again, I think the Honolulu blue hurts us too. I always wanted it to be more of a classic darker blue. That's why I've always loved the throwbacks, the really dark royal with the dark gray numbers. I always thought looked sweet. But yeah, anytime people say Honolulu blue, it just sort of sounds wimpy. And, if they don't get the right mix, remember like when the Lions had those Nikes where like by the first play of the game, there's just sweat stains everywhere. And just because that light blue, just if you don't get it right, or if it's not pictured right on the camera, it just doesn't look that good. So I don't know, man. Where were they at? Like 11th, you said, or something like that? Or?
Yes, 11th. This writer had them at 11.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I heard all the uproar that was like way high, but I just think, okay, I mean, you could throw them at 11, but I'm not getting them up in like the top 8, top 5. I mean, they're just not classic enough, and they're not unique enough. They're kind of right in the middle.
Okay, I mean, I respect your opinion. It's not a good opinion, but I respect it. But one thing I do miss,
coming from the guy that knows nothing about jerseys or style.
Yeah, well, I do miss bubbles on the helmet. That's one thing I do miss. I mean, everybody liked bubbles.
No, the new logo is better. You got to admit that. Like when they flipped that logo over, we used to have a really ridiculous, just it looked like a kid just did an outline of something on his napkin, and they put it on helmet.
It was like a chalk outline of like a cat or something,
right?
Laying on the ground.
Right. It's like, is that the eye or is that the claw with a hole in it? We can't tell. Nobody knew. It's weird.
Yeah. Okay. Just one more quick point. I know this doesn't affect our team, but this has happened to the Lions in the past, and it came out. There was a little bit of buzz. I know we had talked about it, before the draft, that maybe Jonah Williams would have been a nice fit for the Lions this year. Well, it came out this week that he's going to miss the season due to a shoulder injury where he had to have surgery. My first question is to you. I mean, do you remember Aaron Gibson when that happened to the Lions, when they took that big offensive tackle out of Wisconsin, and he ended up missing the whole season with shoulder surgery? And then my second question is, did the Lions, maybe catch a little bit of a break? Because I know we had talked about it, and there was a little bit of a rumbling that they were interested in this guy. Did you think maybe the Lions knew something, or was this guy totally off their board? And, sorry, Jonah Williams, but, sorry for your luck.
Yeah, I was a little bummed to see this one because I got Joe Mixon in basically every fantasy league, and I thought the Bengals are putting together a nice little O-line. They've had a lot of injury problems up front there, but no, I mean, I didn't even hear really how it happened, but I don't think it was anything that you know was lingering or was a big red flag. I think it was just maybe some issue that he probably aggravated training or something like that, because it happened kind of after OTAs had been done, or at least it got announced. So, I don't think this is really on the draft radar from what I can remember. I mean, he had some injury issues in college, but here's my issue to spin it Lions. Like, I feel like we've been so snake bitten over the last, probably the last decade since I've really been just an absolute diehard mega fan. It's like, how many years have we had it where we draft a guy in the first round and he's out like 3/4 of the year, the whole year, half the year? I mean, it feels like it's happened to us more than most. And that's just disconcerting for any team, man, to come in. You got this high pick. He's a player at a position in need, obviously, or you wouldn't have taken him. And before the guy even plays it down, man, he not only hurts himself, but Jonah Williams with a torn labrum. I mean, that's not a good injury to have at that position, out for the whole year, have a huge rehab. I think that's one of the reasons the Lions have struggled so much as a team, because not only are you losing players for extended periods, but then they have to rehab rather than be on the field doing football drills. Sometimes they're not even in the classroom with some of these injuries, how they just kind of get put off to the side of the team. I mean, it's about time we have a year where all of our studs are rocking and rolling, no big injuries, where none of our key players are having to have knee surgeries or all this kind of stuff. I mean, it's got to happen. There's been many years where I thought, okay, this is the year we stay healthy. And before you know it, we just got injuries all over the place. So, too bad for the Bengals and some of these other teams, but we've been clear so far, and it's about time we stay that way.
Yeah, I have to get the bell. I have to agree with you on that, because wasn't Nick Fairley? Didn't he get hurt on kickoff coverage in practice or something? Like, he was on kick return team, and Nick Fairley, and we're like, what the heck's he doing on kick return coverage? Is he going to be used there during the year, or is he and he hurt his foot, and I just remember we're all like, what are you doing, man? Are you actually going to use him there? But yeah, that was, I wasn't a huge fan of Nick Fairley. Still, using your number one,
I'm glad you brought that
pick
up.
On kick return team is just, idiotic.
I'm glad you brought that up, because everybody doesn't know this, that, offline of the show, these are the same stories I hear from you every year. I remember Fairley wasn't one of your favorites. I thought he was an interior, just big dancing bear monster. And so because he didn't work out, now every year, wasn't he hurt running on kickoffs, Oakley? Wasn't that what happened? It's like you have these little nuggets that you remember, and you just recycle them over and over, I swear.
Well, it's a very true nugget. I mean, it's what happens. I mean, would you use your number one defensive tackle stud on the kick return team? Or you're going to be a blocker on kick? I mean, that's not what he does, but that's what Jim Schwartz wants to do. So, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I like say a lot of these are freak, but I mean, I just felt like for years we had too many, and I think we've been better the last few. But quarterbacks, skill guys, mad defenders, got to stay healthy in 2019 and moving forward.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's, like I said, I know it didn't affect the Lions, but it has been snake bit in the past. Lions have. So, like you said, hopefully we stay healthy this year, and that can only help the team. So.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end...
What will I become? Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
I want to get onto my main topic right here, and I know we had discussed this, covering a lot of games, points during the year. Well, it came out earlier that Stafford had a broken back, and that's what he played through. And I don't know if at what point, I can't remember exactly what point it announced that he had it, but I know me and you had talked about there was points this season he just did not want to look like he got hit. I mean, a big one was I brought up when he was at Minnesota and he just turned around and threw the ball at Kerryon Johnson. So, I mean, naturally, obviously, a broken back is going to affect his play. But I guess my question to you is, how gun-shy do you think he'll be going into this year with the knowledge of that happening last year? Do you think he'll just go out with reckless abandon, or do you think it's one of those things where he has really become, happy feet, try to get rid of the ball, that type of quarterback, the guy that we're talking about? We hope he doesn't stay, but goes back to that gunslinger mentality. Do you think this will really affect him this year?
Oh, Grifka, man! Every week on this show, I gotta school you. I gotta put you in your place. I gotta turn these questions around on you, Grifka. When they say Matt Stafford had a broken back, like, you buy that hook, line, and sinker, man. With the whatever they write in the newspapers, you're all about it. Like, when I saw that, I was like, here we go. This is the old story that comes out months after a bad season about somebody having some lingering injury, or that fighter in UFC that gets whooped, and then it's like, yeah, I didn't want to say anything, but my hand was broken early, and that's why they didn't do good or whatever. Like, when they say broken back for Matt Stafford, like, that just sounds like ridiculous. Like, how could anybody play through a broken back? I mean, again, me and the Big Hughes and other people were wrestling fans. Kurt Angle won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck. Like, you hear that and you're like, how could that happen? But, I mean, a broken neck could be like a little bone or a little, thing out of whack in your neck could classify as a broken neck. A broken back could be something much more minor, in my opinion. So I felt like when this story came out, everyone's just running with that tagline. Like, was he banged up? Yeah. Was it an injury that wasn't really talked about? Yeah. Was it really just absolutely, was his cervical spine broken in half and that he couldn't play, and the Lions just said, oh, shut up and get out there? No, that's not what happened. So Stafford's my guy. I want him to have a bounce back. I'm just writing this off as some garbage excuse that's coming out. And, like, Stafford didn't want to say anything. He probably didn't want it out there. Now it's out there. Everybody's got the pity party or the, oh, man, see how tough he is. And I'm just like, they wouldn't have played him if his back was destroyed. But he probably had an ailment back there. He got it taken care of. There's no gun shy this year. He's worrying about it. It's just something that happened. Got blown out of proportion, in my opinion, and now we're ready to rock and roll in 2019. So, did I help you out there, Grifka, or are you going to cry me a river and tell me how amazing this guy is, and, oh, that's why he was not good for that reason alone? Because I just can't go there, man.
Well, any injury to your back, hurts. So it does. It can affect
Great
your
take.
play. I mean, so to say like, oh, was it, it was nothing. You just got a shot, roll out there, big deal. He could have, could have been a minor, bone chip off his spine. I mean, that's still hurts, man. And so, yeah, I mean, to say like it was really nothing, you think it was blown out of proportion. Yeah, maybe the headline was a little grabbing, broken back. You're right. It wasn't like one of those, moves that you see like in a Sylvester Stallone movie where he puts a guy down and breaks the guy's back and he's like laying on the ground. Oh, but magically, I mean, you brought up wrestling. Some guy, gets that, gets the tombstone, but magically he's able to power out of it and win the match. I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, we got it. It wasn't that, but any back injury is going to affect you. I mean, you're right. And if it's not thinking, and next big hit on his back, who knows how bad his back is? I mean, maybe it is something that they're trying to keep quiet, so. Just so he can go out there and, kind of play with that reckless abandon. And, it's not out there that, oh, they need to protect him, get all the pressure on him. Back injuries linger. And, you what are you laughing about?
Oh, go ahead.
Have you ever injured your back? Have you ever injured your back? Just out of curiosity, Mr. Laugh about it.
Yeah, I have.
And how long did it take you to recover? I mean, what were you doing, like lifting a box or gold bricking? I mean, I'm trying to figure out how you hurt your back.
Yeah, it's not fun, but I mean, again, I'm not comparing myself to Matt Stafford. I'm just talking about, like, all this happens every year, man. Somebody has a bunch of fumbles at a running back. Oh man, 6 months later, Well, we didn't want to say anything, but he broke a couple fingers, so that must have been why he lost the ball the whole time. Like, everybody in the NFL is playing with injuries, and again, Matt Stafford, man, lead our team. Love you at quarterback. Everyone's going to think I'm sort of hating on him, but what I'm hating on is all this little. Everybody's playing with injuries, man. I don't want to hear about your fingers. I don't want to hear about your. What else did he have? Oh, his knee was hurt, and then the 1 year, my back's sore. Like, I'm just sick of this garbage. Like,
okay, it's funny how you say that here. It really is. I find this utterly amazing. How you like? Well, I don't want to hear this trash. It's garbage, man. Get out there, throw the ball around, sling it around, broken back. Ziggy Ansah, wait, hold on, dude. How are you? Oh my God, are you okay? Somebody breathed on you. We could use this guy who's 6'11" and 185 pounds, and he gets his almost sick. We could use this guy. He was never on the field, but is he gonna be okay? Let's re-sign him. Ziggy, we love you, Ziggy. Stafford, what are you talking about, dude? Get the hell out there. You got 5 guys in front of you blocking. What's your problem, you sissy? Ziggy, are you okay on the bench? Do you need something to sit on? You need a cup of cocoa? Or Ziggy, are you okay, Ziggy? We're gonna cry when you go to another team and stand on their sideline injured. Or are you okay, Stafford? Get your butt out of the locker room, you sissy. Take the shot. Help the team. We need you, Ziggy. Ziggy, are you okay? You need a nappy? You got your blankie, Ziggy? Oh, your shoulder. Oh, but you can't get to set because your shoulder. Oh, I'm sorry. You hurt your shoulder. Oh, I'm sorry. But Stafford, what are you talking about, dude? God, you're the quarterback, for Pete's sake. Get your butt out there. I don't want to hear this garbage. You should be throwing up 10,000 yards and 50 touchdowns a year. God, Ziggy, are you okay? Ziggy, you okay, Ziggy? So. It's funny how you like bash on Stafford kind of for it's overblown, but Ziggy Ansah, you just defend that guy to the hilt, man. It's just like he's my man, he's my Ziggy. I love this guy, even though he never touched the field, even when he was hurt. But you're bagging on a guy who's actually on the field while playing hurt. Okay, I see it. Slightly confusing there, but okay.
Are you done?
Yeah, I had to get that in there, man, because that's just that's strange how you like. I don't want to hear this crap, but then. Ziggy, you still love Ziggy. You're gonna love me more in a Seattle uniform with their lime green, tints and their University of Oregon uniform stuff. So,
okay, well, real quick before we move on, Grifka, I wonder if the people out there laugh harder when you say the same thing 8 times in a row, or if they get bored after the first time.
I know you got bored with it because I was pointing out your flaw, but okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, I'm going to spin it on you as I normally do, which is, okay, you had all that fun with that, right? So here's what Grifka, this is what you do, and you don't even realize it. You beat up on Ziggy Ansah for a guy who's got a torn up shoulder. Oh, he can't play. He's that Ferrari that's in your garage. Oh, man, he looks great in the practice uniform, but he looks great in his tracksuit every week, right? You just go on and on about him. Killing the guy for injuries, serious injuries. He can't play because he's hurt, blah, 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 blah. But then I got to hear you come on here, just a report. You read Dave Burkett or some other jamoke in the media brought out some report, and you just buy it hook, line, and sinker. Oh, see? Man, O'Cree, this is why our quarterback didn't play well. He had this devastating injury. Look at how tough he is. He's out there. It's the same thing, only the other way. Like, you just bought it the other way where you beat up on somebody for being hurt. But then when this guy is reportedly had a broken freaking back, now you're just giving him a absolute free pass. Oh, look at how tough. I love this guy. He's our quarterback. Oh, he's just unbelievable. When it's the same thing in reverse. So I don't want to hear this garbage from you. People you don't like, and then when people you like have an excuse or some reason why they didn't play well, you just, the people just turn you inside out like nothing, where you're just like, oh man, see, O'Cree, that's why he wasn't good last year. Now he'll be all set again.
Okay, but at least Stafford was on the field, even with an injured back. So,
what does it matter? Like, imagine if Ziggy played and he gets no tackles. He'd be like, he didn't even do anything. Yet now Stafford, because he's out there, he gets a participation trophy. He gets good job. I'm glad you fought through it. I'm glad you put up no stats and helped us win no games down the stretch and then played good in Green Bay. See, I don't go for that. As much as I support the guy, I'm not going to blindly come on here and just say, oh yeah, because his back, that's why he was really terrible from weeks 6 through 14. You're just like, oh, I'm glad he played. Oh, great. Glad you were out there too. Like, give him a blue ribbon. And then tell me 8 months later, oh, it was because of my back, my pinky, my knee. Like, come on, man.
Okay. We can agree to here. Reasonable minds can differ. There you go.
All right, I'm done, man. Like you say, you had a good rant there, but you just don't realize it's basically the same thing in reverse. So let's move on. Matt Stafford, I love you. You're our quarterback. I just think this was blown out of proportion. Ziggy, I think you're still a tremendous talent and a player, but yeah, beat up too. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Just one quick thing I want to end with here. Did you happen to see Marvin Jones clap back on your boy Dave Burkett because of the fake news that he wanted to be traded?
Oh my goodness, I didn't see this, which I sound surprised because any buddy that goes at Dave Burkett should be like, I should get alerts on my phone when that happens. But I probably have like everything Dave Burkett, aka Free Press, just blocked completely out of my phone. What the heck happened? I totally missed this.
Well, there was this story out that Marvin Jones, was just wanting out of Detroit. He was looking to get traded, and Marvin Jones just clapped back at him. Pretty much said it wasn't true. It was garbage. It was all fake news. But it was just kind of funny. Kind of did it like in a rap style thing. But I have to, I don't have that record contract yet, so I'm not going to rap again. So I'm debating that. So I don't want to put any more stuff out there. So, but if you get a chance, if you go look it up, it's just kind of funny how somebody actually came back and said that, and just kind of defending themselves, that he wants to be here in Detroit. So just one of those things.
You know what's better than you rapping, Grifka, or equal to? The fact that on this podcast, you've probably used the word clapback like 8 times. Like, if there's any word or phrase or action that is not Grifka, it's clapback. It's one of your go-tos, which I think is hilarious.
You ever see that Chappelle show where he does like the black guy and the white guy for like the wife swap?
No.
You ever see that episode where he does that? And he does like the white guy? Oh my gosh. If you get a chance to see it, it's if you like Dave Chappelle or not. I think he's very funny. Get a chance to see it. It's equally as hilarious as when, Eddie Murphy did it on Saturday Night Live where Eddie Murphy went undercover as a white guy. If you haven't seen that, I highly recommend that as well. It's funny because it's kind of like me using the term clapback, and it's along those lines. So get a chance to see it.
All right. Well, I like I said, didn't hear this, didn't know about it, but like I'm glad not only Marvin Jones is kind of crazy. Like when you just see him, you think he's maybe like this diva wide receiver, but this guy's got some grit to him, man. He's like a quiet guy, but he's not afraid to speak his mind. I'm glad he sort of got back at Burkett or didn't take this stuff because it's been coming out forever. Like all these rumors, we had to talk about it. Is Marvin going to be around? Maybe they should trade Marvin, this and the other. Like, the more I keep thinking about it, man, we get this guy at about, we'll bring it up in our dollars and cents series. I want to say he's around that $7-8 million bucks. Like you say, you got him for this year, and I can't remember if he's under for next year or not. And you just play him out, man. He's a good receiver. He's got him and his wife had the business in Troy there. Like, this guy has been nothing but a great player since we signed him in regards to, not creating any trouble, being pretty good on the field when he's healthy. He's had some injuries, but not a ton. And I don't know. I'm totally on board with keeping him around. And, I think everybody's just sort of making up rumor and innuendo, and they're just saying, oh, I hear Marvin doesn't like it, or man, we should trade Marvin. For what? Like, what are you going to get for him? Like, it'd be one of those NFL trades. Like, Marvin Jones goes to the Patriots for a 6th round conditional pick. It's like, no, we definitely are keeping the player, at that point, and with his salary and with what he can do when healthy on the field. So I'm hoping he has a big year. I'm glad he got back at your boy, Dave Burkett, and I'm glad that he's not taking some of this, not just sitting around and letting people talk noise that isn't true. So.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that, so I just wanted to mention it to you. So that's all I got for this evening. I don't know, is there any other topic you want to touch base on?
We're good, Grifka. We talked about that. We promoted that next Wednesday we'll be coming in here doing some dollars and cents. We'll have an offensive side of the ball and a defensive side of the ball. Me and Grifka know what that is, but you'll have to tune in to check it out, see what positions on offense and defense that we start with. We'll have, I believe, we will have a new sponsor next week. We were able to add somebody, a pretty cool sponsor. And if you haven't checked us out yet, go ahead and check out that Monday evening show we've been doing. Short show on fantasy football. I know it's still a little ways out for some of you, but before you know it, we'll be into mid-July, August, where a lot of you start to get those work fantasy football leagues together and all types of things with your friends or whatever. So me and Chuck are doing that show, and we're giving you all types of fun fantasy football content, some good arguments, some good humor on that show as well. We try to have a lot of fun with it, but check that out. And Grifka, with all that promo being said, and for always thanking the Kool-Aid drinkers, as I always do, there's only one other question that can be asked. Do you have anything else for the people?
Nope.
All right. Well, perfect, man. Another good show. I cannot wait for the season. I know we got some fun dollars and cents coming up, but I'm looking forward to football, man. It's closer than we think. So look forward to that. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We'll check you next week right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. Take care, everybody.
Pack the bag, start the plane. This game is over. It is over. What a comeback by the Lions.
Drink it in, man.